んにちは。こんにちは。こんにちは。
Greetings! Welcome. We're back for a little bit of a... Oh, that's my alarm. A little bit of a shorter stream today, because I don't have that much time on Wednesdays, but I figured, you know, we could do some more Python code. We have those challenges that we unlocked yesterday. Dry. This is not the challenges. Boom. Let's get here. Python. There we go. Aha. We have the checkpoint project. Yes. And then lists. And then we had the challenge pack for lists. This is where we were. So I figured we could at least work through the challenge pack today. And then the Terraria collaboration is this evening at 7:30. I think it's when everybody starts. So I should be here for the first half hour and like the last half hour of Terraria. Anyway, right now, the Oscars. Every year at the Oscars, the Academy Award for Best Picture is awarded to a single film. It's usually the last award presented and is considered to be the most prestigious. Let's use a Python list to document the recent winners. Start with the following list: Parasite, Green Book, The Shape of Water, Moonlight, Spotlight, Birdman, 12 Years a Slave, Argo, and The Artist. Google the Best Pictures winners from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, then add them to the front of the Best Pictures list. Lastly, print the Best Pictures list. Make sure that the updated list starts with the winner for 2024, then 23, then 22, 21, all the way down. Okay, yeah. Make sure to match the format of the existing list. And remember, it's the year of the movie, not the year of the ceremony. Okay. So let's get that Google window open. We've got this, which we can go ahead and drop in there like that. And then, Best Picture winners from 2022. From 2020. Which film won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2022? Coda. Okay, so following this rule right here, we've got 2020 Coda. Okay. Oh no, Coda is 2022. Okay, let's see 2020. Parasite. But that says 2019 Parasite. So what won in 2019? Okay, can we get a list of winners and nominees? Yes. Academy Awards for Best Picture. Okay, so this is better right here. It's Nomad Land. And then Coda is 2021. Okay, so that's 20, that's 22, and that's 23, and that's 24. Okay, and we got Nomadland. Coda. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Oppenheimer. Bam, Oppenheimer. And then Enora. Okay. Okay, they're all just right here. I mean, I should have flipped this over before I just went and got the information from Google, but it's all right here. Using list indices and using a list method, yes. I should refresh myself. Okay. So I see a couple of different ways to do this. So I could do a loop, and I could loop through and add it to the beginning of the list and just scoot it down, or I could invert the list, add two lists together, and then invert the list again to do it without a loop. So I make a list of the new stuff, I flip the old list, add the two lists together, and then flip the list again, and we're good. Because you can't add things to the... So it's a reverse, and extend, and a reverse. So let's take a look at extend and get the... Oop, nope, that's the wrong thing. Oop, nope. That's what I meant to do. Okay. New best. Okay. Then I need just reverse. Best pictures reverse. Best pictures dot extend. View best. Okay, print. It's taking a really long time to run again. Okay. That works a treat. Done. Submit answer. I did add the best picture for 20. So here we go again with there are multiple different ways to solve this problem. I don't know which of the ways that they want me to solve the issue. Like I could make a loop that manually adds in each one by one. I could just make a list of statements that pops each one of these in one by one. Like I don't know what they're wanting here. Like do I really have to sit here and try 20 different ways to solve this problem before it arrives at something? Yeah, it starts with the winner for 24 and then it counts all the way down to the winner for 2011. Match the format of the existing list. It matches the format. Yeah. Start with the following list. We got that. Best pictures is the list there. Two main ways to do this: using list indices or using a list method. I'm using some of the methods to do it. The winners are Nora Oppenheimer, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Coda and Nomadland. Yes. The spelling, spatial, and capitalizations are the same. They are. Everything is the same. But their instruction here, using a list method, you can't use a list method because list method doesn't work for the answer. So the other way to do this is to... I'm going to comment this out because this code works, but this code is not what they want to see. Code is correct, but it's not what the devs did. So we'll mark that right there. So using a less for item in you best. Oh, what was the method here? Insert 0. Best pictures. Best pictures, yeah. Insert. Okay, different way to do it, same result. Is that the right answer? So I'm really at a loss for how to solve this. I've completed their challenge two different ways. One by manually inserting everything to the front of the list, and other by using a list method right here to reverse the first list, extend it, and then reverse it back into the proper order. And neither of these is showing as the correct way to solve this problem. Maybe if I take this out entirely. Yep, it still displays it correctly. I mean, I'm back in the same situation. I have a correct answer. So what they're asking for here, this code solves it. This code is the solution for what they are asking for. Start with the following list. That right there, that list. Google the best picture winners from 2020 to 2024, then add them to the front of the best pictures list. Okay, so here are the new winners. Here I am adding them to the front of the best pictures list, and then I'm printing out the best pictures list. Do I not need to print out the best pictures list? Okay, so the only other thing that I can come up with right now Okay. And that once again should produce the same answer. We've now removed all of the logic from the solution, and it's just manually typing everything out line by line. I mean, the only other solution I have after this is just to add it to that and just do that. Oh, I didn't print it. I was waiting for it to show up down here, but I forgot to print it. Okay. That is also not the correct answer. Let's take off the print, because technically it didn't tell us to print. You got me. I don't know what they're checking for, but it's not the right answer. They're checking for something else. There's nothing good that I can say about this. This system is broken. If you can't implement it correctly, you shouldn't implement it at all. I mean, it is what it is. Like you are offering a paying service here. This is $10 a month to do all of the stuff inside of their service, and they have sections of a paid service right here that does not work. And by their own admission, they know it doesn't work, and it's still in there. I mean, it's making it really hard to want to support this when they have something that's broken, that they know it's broken, and they haven't just removed it. Like I solved this 3 different ways, using a manual method for inserting each of these, using the list indices, which is what we're doing right here, and then using methods to do it, which is what I was doing with extend. But I know why this is failing, right? Because they have the piece of code that they wrote, and they named this, it could be something like, oh, they named this list something else. And because the name of my list is different from the name of their list, which they don't fucking give, it's telling me I got the wrong answer. Or they put their list in reverse order, and I need to do my list and then reverse it and then append it. I mean, there's a dozen different ways that you can implement this, but they're checking for one very specific thing, and if you don't type it out exactly the way that they have it typed out, oh, you fail. And this is the message that you're sending to up-and-coming programmers. Like, a new programmer could come in here, come up with this solution, and this is absolutely 100% the right way to do this. And then they're getting marked wrong, and so they're thinking, oh, I don't understand how this works because it says I'm wrong. I did it wrong. And so they're trying to figure out what they did wrong, and they don't have anything. Okay. That's going to present a list that's out of order. Let's copy their exact code. That's exactly what they say that they want to do. Okay, so. Let's run it and see what happens. My prediction is that the ones at the top of the list are not going to be in the right order. Oh, look. Yeah, and look, the ones at the front of the list, because they said, oh, you need to go in reverse order. Look at this. 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 2019. They encoded their answer backwards for one. And does this now show the correct answer? No. And even when their own AI gives me the answer that it's supposed to be looking for, it's wrong. I mean, do I need to take out the comments? Is that the answer that you're looking for? Because this is exactly the code that your AI gave me and said it was the solution to this problem. It wants this to be in all caps, and when my solution, it was in all caps. So, when it comes to getting the solutions to these things, it's ignore everything that's on this side of the screen. All of this, pointless. Doesn't fucking matter at all. You have to guess exactly the code that they put in. The code that is incorrect, by the way, because the code that they supplied as the right answer does not generate what they're asking for right here, a list that starts with 2024 and counts down to 2011. Like, this is not the correct answer to the problem. I'm going to post this in the Discord for this thing. This is the first challenge from the list section called the Oscars. This code was given by the AI companion with syntax errors. In it, I had to correct, and it marks it as correct, but the list is in the wrong order. Putting the list in the correct order marks as incorrect. Okay. So, I have now posted that into their Discord, right into their general chat. Like it's just wrong. You can't even say that this is a case of, oh well, you know, your syntax is just not exactly like ours. No, the logic in their solution is wrong. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick little break. I'll be right back. Oh no, I've had a bot. Also, I'm back. Ban the bot. Okay. Let's move on to the next challenge and discover if this one is coded correctly or not. Alright, suppose you and 3 of your friends all went out for a meal together. The bill comes due and all of you decide to split the bill evenly. Here's a Python list of prices for what was ordered. Okay, so we'll put that list over here. Using this bill list, calculate the total amount and then divide it 4 ways. Initialize the total with 0 and loop through the bill list to add everything up. With the total, store what each person has to pay in a myShare variable and then print the result to the terminal. Okay, well, simple enough. There's not a sum method, is there? No, simple enough. We need a total and a myShare for item in bill. I mean, okay. It wants me to do some manual arithmetic here. Print myShare. Okay. Simple enough. Maybe that way? You don't like the way I named the variable? Okay, well, let's ask AI again. Show me the exact code. I'm going to take these all. That is literally... Okay, so they're not instantiating myShare up there. I mean, this is the answer that I put. I mean, I don't, at this point, I don't even know why I'm attempting to solve the challenges, because you're never going to solve them in exactly the same way that whoever wrote the challenge solved it. Like at this point, it's not even a challenge, because it doesn't matter what you do or what you code. It's not right because the person who wrote the answer decided to capitalize one random letter somewhere that you didn't capitalize. And so obviously your answer is entirely incorrect. What they're judging based on a one-to-one thing instead of anything that's actually looking at the code and trying to understand what you did, or seeing if the answer that you got is the answer that they want. If you want to grade something on a one-by-one example, grade the terminal output and say, oh, well, this matches exactly what I wanted them to do, so they got the right answer. Even if this doesn't match what they wanted to do, or if they just wrote a print statement that just printed out what the answer would be, that's still giving you the right answer. If you want to check the answer, check the answer. Don't try to check the code and then force them to code it with the exact same syntax and capitalization and punctuation and spacing that you put in your answer, because they are always going to get the answer wrong. DNA is made of the 4 pieces: adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine. I mentioned that yesterday, although they had a U, and I don't know where they got U from. Let's use a Python list to find the specific 3-letter combination. Okay, so we'll get their exact list, define 2 variables, item to find, item found boolean. Okay. Initiate this to a 3-letter combination of your choice. Okay. Cat. Loop through each item in DNA sequence. I mean, you technically wouldn't use an if statement for that. You would use a loop, but okay, we'll use an if statement for it. If item found is false, it doesn't correct that here. I got to remember that. For item in DNA sequence, if item is equal to item to find item found true. Okay. So that's what they want. It's never going to print item found because they're using an if statement here, and they need to be using a while loop. But this is what they told me to build. That's not what you asked to build. Yes, I did. Oh my god. Okay, well, asking the AI again. Item defined cat. That's exactly what I picked. Item found equals false. Done. DNA sequence. I copied it exactly from the thing. Loop through each item in the list. For item in DNA sequence, if item is equal to item to find, item find equals true. That is exactly what I have. Check if the item was found. If item found, you're not even checking the condition of it. You're just checking. If you just put if item found, you were checking to see whether or not the variable exists, not the condition of the variable. But okay, I will remove the conditional check from the if statement. So once again, they have a solution that is incorrect, that is actually the wrong answer to the question. This is not checking against anything. If you put if item found, and here, let me show you. This should still say if item item found. So we're setting it to false. Item found. We set it to true. Item found. Item not found if it's set to true. What is this checking against? Okay, well, let's take a look at Python if statements. Okay, nowhere in the example is it showing an if statement that fails to have a conditional in the statement. In this particular case, I think I understand what's happening here, but this would only be able to happen with a Boolean value, because technically I could just do this. And it's doing the same thing. Yeah. So the answer is a cheat right here that is not standard practice. Because an if statement's conditional evaluates to a Boolean, you can just hard code a Boolean value in here, which is what they were doing with item bound. Instead of checking it to a particular conditional state, they were just checking the state of it. Why? Oh, it's the last of the challenges. I was wondering, it skipped the first two challenges. Ah, the challenges on this site are not good. So far I've had a problem with every single one of them just being coded incorrectly. Yeah, they're challenging in totally the wrong way. Create a list called wish list. Wish list equals and first item, and we want the list to contain 3 items first off, so we'll just go ahead and put those 3 items on here. Bam, like that. Our wish list contains 3 items. It only needs 1. Okay. Add 3 items to the list, something you always wanted. Working PC. No health issues. Bam. Or item in wish list print item. Bam. You don't want me to print it in a readable fashion. Is that what I'm getting? Even with the easy solution here. Yeah, even with what their easy challenge, trying to do it in a way that makes it easy to understand for people who are looking at the output of your program is wrong. Create 2 empty lists called My Numbers and Winning Numbers. Okay. Oh. What is it called again? Import. Why I can never remember that. Okay, we import random, we got our 2 lists, and then loop over a range of 5 steps. Outside the loop, add 1 more number to each, that's between 1 and 26. Okay, how do I use the range function again? Can I combine that together? Random.rand int 169. And then the other logic is 1 to 26. Random.rand int 1 to 26. That would be the Powerball right there. So there's my 2 random logics. Item. Okay, this. And we're using insert. do the same for winning. Okay, and then the last two, we're just gonna replace this with this. And we just do that and hit 26. Okay. Print my numbers. Print winning numbers. Run that. Oh, I see what I did. This isn't a list. This is just insert to Powerball. Gotcha. Insert append. Right, okay. There we go. Invalid syntax. Is it just complaining about that one? Does it need the brackets? Okay, how does append work? Because it doesn't seem to work like that's exactly how I thought it was going to work. Append something. Okay. You can append a particular item. Okay, well, let's ask the AI again. Okay, show me the exact answer that you want me to duplicate. It's literally the same thing that I've got. I do have a problem here because I was indexing it incorrectly. Okay, import random. My numbers, yes. Winning numbers, yes. I suppose I could just do both of these in the same loop like that. Don't need two different loops. So you want me to optimize this, but you wanted me to put 5 individual lines in the previous one instead of doing a loop? Still gonna come up with the same thing. Except now it takes forever to run because we're having to do 2 operations inside of a loop, and Python is slow. Import random. That's exactly the same. My numbers, empty array. My numbers, list. Bam. It's exactly the same. Winning numbers. Exactly the same. Or underscore? Really? Your variable name is fucking underscore. Okay, well, let's see. Nope, that's not it either. Okay. My numbers append random ran int. Oh, you don't want to insert, you just want to append. Okay, forgive me for wanting to put things in fucking order. This right here, that is fucking bullshit. That is the developers knowing that they have the thing where you have to match their syntax exactly. So they decide to name one of their variables just an underscore instead of I or item, which is what that particular variable is usually called, underscore. That's bad faith is what that is. Like you are setting your student up to fail and you're doing it on purpose. And then I've already completed this one. I mean, that I've got nothing good to say about any of the challenges that were in this list section, because out of the 5 challenges that were in there, 3 of them have the wrong answer coded as the answer that you have to give. Because so if you give the correct answer to them, you get it wrong no matter what. You have to give the wrong answer. And one of them requires you to match the syntax exactly, and one of the variable names just a fucking underscore. Like, this is a website that is supposed to be teaching people how to program and good programming fundamentals, and you're doing shit like that. Saying, oh, here's a challenge project. Oh, you didn't name your variable underscore? Lol, you're a dumbass programmer. I mean, what kind of a message is is that to send to a potential programming student? Like, I don't know. And we haven't even made it to some of the more advanced concepts yet. This is basic fucking concepts, like the first month of learning how to program or programming classes. Like, not even that. We're in the first like day of programming fundamentals here. And they're doing stuff like that. I don't know how you can justify that. Yeah. Okay, I posted that in the Discord. I don't... Oh. I can kind of see why this website hasn't taken off, right? It's just not good. They've got too many problems in trying to grade the solutions. They're not actually grading the solutions. They want you to write the exact code that they wrote. And if even a stray space or capitalization is off anywhere in any variable name, they mark you wrong for it. And you've got no recourse on... Like, the only way that I've passed a lot of these challenges is to ask their own AI companion thing that they've put in here to give me the exact code answer for the solution, and then find out which variable name has improper capitalization in it. So I don't know. I'm not getting good feelings about this. I'm not getting timely responses from the people in the Discord server, because there's a lot of people sitting in the server right now, and with me putting up screenshots and pointing out, hey man, your shit don't work. A lot of people are quiet. They're just waiting for somebody else to say something so they can change the subject. I mean, at this point, I'm just gonna put my actual professional programmer hat back on, and like if I'm gonna continue with this, I'm gonna point out every little thing that is wrong everywhere on the website now, because you can't put out something like this that's supposed to teach somebody and then try to purposely screw them over at every turn that you can, and then have the audacity to charge them for it on top of it, right? Because these people could go to Zenvia or Udemy and get an actual proper training course that they could then turn into something that they could put on LinkedIn. The fact that these little courses are offering, hey, you can put this on your LinkedIn profile, is fucking laughable at this point. I would be ashamed to link anything from this to my LinkedIn profile, considering how badly this is implemented. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for me for coding for today. In about an hour and a half, we're going to have the Terraria stream. But I need to take a break from this for right now, because this is completely fucking pissing me off. Yeah. This is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, this is ridiculous. If you can't implement it correctly, don't implement it at all, and certainly don't fucking try to charge people for it and act like that it's your students that's doing something wrong here. Like, no, you're coding the wrong answers into your code. You're asking them to put a list in order, and then the solution requires them to randomly have the list out of order? No. Or you have to name a variable a fucking underscore. That's what makes it intentional right there. Because the devs know that you have to match the variable names. 2 of them told me that yesterday. And now I find a solution that requires one of those variable names to be an underscore. Just a random Yeah, I've got nothing else to say. I'm gonna be on Lady stream at 7:30, but the next full stream is going to be tomorrow, where I may not be continuing with Codédex at all. That's gonna be dependent on what kind of conversations I have in their Discord after this stream. There are other websites and stuff for me to try, so I may try like Code Combat or something like that, where they actually have their solutions coded correctly. Anyway, catch you on the flip side. Nari out.